Hey yo, it's your boy Monster Man Rocco.
It's your boy Swagger Rock.
This is Snack the Ripper.
If you rap for those who don't know.
This is Master Ace. You are now rocking with the best. Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records, man.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records.
Breaking Records.
Breaking Records Radio. Let's go.
Breaking Records Radio.
Press 5-9, you check Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records, man. Radio is like the place to be. I don't fuck strange music, man.
Breaking Records Radio and the place to be. You know what it is. Your host, Maloney, and I got a very, very, very special guest with me on the phone right now. An MC I've looked up to for damn near good 15 years, ever since I first heard the mixtapes. You know, this guy's one of the dopest MCs from my generation. Huge inspiration to any lyricist out there. We got the man himself, Cassidy, on the phone with us. How's it going, man?
Yeah. Thanks for having me, boy. What's up with you?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling, cold ass fucking Toronto. You know what I mean? Cold as hell here. But yeah, man.
I couldn't expect it, man. I'm trying to move further and further south every year, man. I can't deal with the cold.
I feel you, man. Shit, because it's cold in Philadelphia too, right?
Facts.
Yeah. Are you living in Philly right now, or have you already started your move down south?
Nah, I moved further down south. I stay mostly in Atlanta.
Oh, word, okay.
Florida. Yeah, them two places where it's nice and warm.
Yeah. I can't say I blame you, man. That's where I'll be heading, you know what I mean? Once this bread gets up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's beautiful out here.
Yeah, man. So you've stayed consistent for all these years. That's one thing I really, really admire about you as an MC. Like, you know, when I was coming up, like, you know, there was you, there was like Lloyd Banks, you know, you guys were like really, and then, you know, Jadakiss obviously, and, you know, the cats like that, but Jada had already been around and stuff, but like the two dudes who were like kind of next up, it was like you, Fabulous, Banks. You guys were all like the real spitters who were like all had good successful like albums and singles out as well too. You know, Lloyd Banks has kind of fallen back a bit. You know, Fabulous has still got it. Summer Shootout 3 is dope. But you're just one dude, like, you never really, like, lost the edge. Like it's just, you still, the blade is still as sharp as day one. You know what I mean? Like, how do you find it? Like, you just drop new music, and the shit sounds just like the Cassidy I used to listen to. You know what I mean? That's one thing I love about it.
Appreciate it.
You keep your blade sharp, man.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do all of these years I've been around, especially at the level I've been doing it at. Like, it's hard to stay around this long, period. But when I first came around as a teenager, I was known as being one of the top lyricists, like always battle heavy and always competitive. So from the beginning, there's been a lot of pressure on me. So to hold it down for this long is kind of hard, especially to keep the hunger, like you said, to keep the drive, to keep the passion to want to do it. So that's why I constantly try to reinvent myself. I try to stay not too locked into social media or what the public think. I try to stay in my own zone, in my own bag, so I could keep reinventing myself and stay hungry, stay focused. You know what I'm saying? And I really do this music for a different reason than a lot of other artists. A lot of artists do it to be successful. I do it to be the best with the science. So I'm always trying to improve with the science and help the world understand the science a little bit better. Because the better the world understand it, the better the artists will be forced to do. So we'll get better music. So that's my main thing that I'm trying to do is force the science off on the artists that's working in on the fans so that they can understand what they listening to a little bit better. Because everything else that we love got stats, got statistics, and got a science to where you can understand who's nice and who's not. Like with basketball, with football, it's statistics, it's stats, it's ratings, there's ways that you, even if you don't fully understand the sport, there's ways that you can determine who's the top players and who's not, even if you don't follow the sport all of the time.
Yeah.
But with rap, it's all opinionated. It's just all who they feel got the light at the time. It don't got nothing to do with the level of the science that they know or how far they taking it or how dope they are. So that's what's making me stay hungry, the passion. I want to teach people the science, and that's why I'm able to keep going, do things like jump back into battle rap. And right now I'm doing a project called Bars and Beats where I'm doing 100% of the project. So I'm writing 100% of the project and I'm producing it all myself.
Oh shit, really,
And
eh?
not too many artists. I'm not even sure if an artist even did that before. I know some rappers that might produce, but a lot of the rappers that produce use a lot of samples.
Yeah.
And they got a lot of writers. So when you look on the credits of the song, even though they supposed to be the producer and the rapper, you see a lot of other names in the credit.
Yeah.
But on this project, you're only going to see one name, mine. And that's what I'm working on now. It's called Bars and Beats. So doing things like that, like I just wrote a rap the other day. It was about a 50-bar rap. And I tried to rhyme 7 syllables all the way through. And it's like it's like you can't send me a link where another rapper is doing that. Like no other rappers in the world is doing that. So just like pushing myself to do things like that is what keep me motivated and keep me hungry.
That's
and I
crazy.
got a lot more to bring to the table. I just don't feel as though the fans will be able to accept it right now. If they can't even accept, if they still dealing with people rhyming 1 syllable like old school rap, or 2 to 3 at the most, then 7 syllables all the way through is like super advanced.
Yeah.
So imagine if I was to do 8 or 9 or 10, it's like it'd be too much. It's like you gotta spoon feed the fans because everybody not all on the same level.
Yeah, and you
So
almost.
that's what I'm trying to do, get a lot more people on the same page.
That's crazy, man. And like, because I was gonna ask you too, like, what motivates you to, like, or inspires you to be able to, you know, just stay so sharp lyrically for all these years. But I guess you kind of just answered it in yourself there. Like, you almost inspire yourself to do it.
Exactly. That's all you can do once you reach a certain level.
Yeah.
I mean, when you just beginning, I had a lot of inspiration. A lot of people I used to look up to or look to for inspiration or motivation. But once you get to a certain level, and you might be even doing more. You might be sticking more to the science than even the people that inspired you. Now it's time for you to inspire yourself, or else you're going to kick your feet up, take the fact that people calling you the best to their head, and then you'll start to fall off like you see a lot of the dudes that you named that used to be out of lyrical, but they might not be no more, is because they got comfortable where they was at and they didn't stick to it.
Yeah.
So if you don't stick to it, then you don't keep training, then you're eventually going to fall off no matter what sport you in.
Yeah. No, that's a fact, man. And, you know, that's one thing I really do, I commend you for, because, like, in this no disrespect to Banks, you know what I mean? I love Lloyd Banks as a MC, but just as a fan, you know, over a few years, you know, after like 5-6 years, I started getting kind of disappointed. It just seemed like it just didn't seem like the passion was there no more. And that's not to get you to say anything about Banks or nothing, but that's just kind of my example that I like to use, because you two were like, you know, hand in hand to me at one point, like my 2 favorite MCs. But, you know, so it's just refreshing to be able to, like, you know, I got all these new songs of yours. I know Hate just dropped.
Sorry, not to cut you off, but the kind of give like to play the devil's advocate and to speak up for artists that you might be talking about, an artist like Banks.
Yeah.
Sometimes the culture and what we love to rap for gets blended in with the business.
Yeah.
And that's completely different. Sometimes people try to categorize it all the same because people see it all the same when they're not really informed with what's going on.
Yeah.
But people that's actually in the industry know that it's a difference between the culture, why we love to rap, why we fell in love with rap, why we want to do it, and what we get out of it. And the business is just 2 separate things. Sometimes you might want to go left for the culture, but the business is telling you to go right.
Yeah.
So which direction do you take then? Do you take the left to stick more with the culture, or do you go to the right to pay more bills and, you know what I'm saying, get more money? It's like decisions be hard to make when you tied up in the business. So sometimes people be wanting to constantly go left for the culture, but the people over top of them be forcing them to make a right turn.
Yeah.
So after you make a few right turns and things go wrong and you knew you were supposed to go left, you get frustrated.
Yeah.
So it become a fight. With you fighting to go left and them fighting for you to go right. And when you get in that fight for so long, you get frustrated and sometimes you get tired of it. So it's not that you're not capable of being hot no more. It's just that you're so frustrated with how things is going because of the business.
Yeah.
That it tends for you not to, you know what I mean, be locked in no more because just thinking about the music business period frustrates you now because of the business. And if it wasn't like that, then a lot of these artists that you see that might be falling back now, they might not be falling back as much because you don't really lose the love for this music. It's just you might get frustrated with the business and might not be pleased with how your situation is going. And that might cause you to back off a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and actually, yeah, because now that you say that, I'm curious, like, because I know you've put out a lot of mixtapes and stuff, like Can't Trust the Shooter 3, or is that what it's called? Can't Trust the Shooter? Don't Trust the Shooter 3?
Trust anyone.
Yeah, that I love.
Can't trust anyone.
Don't trust anyone. Yeah, my bad.
Pressure 1 and 2, Mayhem Music, Cassidy the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Banana Clips, Volume 1 and 2.
So you've been keeping
Those
steady
are
mixtapes
on all platforms that you could check out.
But it's been actually the last album you did though was like what 2010, wasn't it? So is that kind of like the reason why
No,
you?
I just dropped the album. This year, July 7th on my birthday. It's called Numbers.
Oh shit, my
It's
bad.
available on all platforms right now. I got 2 videos out from the project. One is called Get to a Cell.
Yeah.
And one is called Another Plan.
See, I've heard Another Plan.
They was World Star premieres and exclusives. Both of the videos did over 1 million views in a day. So both of the videos is viral. It's getting a lot of respect and props right now. So everybody that's tuned in listening, go check out them videos. Get to a Cell and Another Plan. They both singles of the project Numbers.
Okay.
I dropped that on my birthday, which was July 7th. And for the next 14, it was 14 songs on the Numbers project. And for the next 14 days, I dropped a single every day.
Oh,
so,
shit.
The Numbers project added up to 28 records. So it was 14 on the original album that dropped on my birthday. And then for the next 14 days, I dropped 14 singles. So they are available on all platforms, new music. And since then, I've been dropping more singles, like a single with Little Mama. It's called More Love.
Yeah.
It's like more of a commercial radio record. Save the Children, a new record with me and Swizz that's available on all platforms. It's crazy street hip hop, me just blacking out. And recently, I told you I've been working on this new project called Bars and Beats that I'm producing myself.
Yeah.
So I dropped a new single called It's Barry Time. And that's produced by me. It's on all platforms right now.
I really
I'm
like that
coming
joint.
with more singles. One called Navigation. Another called Selfish.
It's a rap.
Another called Goat. We on the radio, but it's called Goat-ish. And
You can curse.
one more record, Locked Up, is another one that I'm coming with. So there's a lot of records that I'm working on that I'm producing myself that I've been dropping little samples from that'll be available on all platforms any day now. And the project will be available real soon too. I'm gonna be finishing up any day now. So
Okay,
we're
dope.
working, and there's always music available. I know that I don't got the big machine behind me like I once did. Like when you said 15 years ago, I had the big machine behind me, so it was easier to find out when I was coming with more music because it was pushed right in your face.
Yeah.
Now you got to be more of a, you know what I mean, diehard fan to kind of figure out what I'm doing because it's not pushed right in your face because the machine is not behind me.
Yeah.
But I'm still working, and it's still top level quality music. It feels like I got a machine behind me when you hear the music and you hear the product.
Yeah.
So there's always music available. All you got to do is go on any platform that you use and just type in my name, Cassidy, and you'll see a lot of new music.
Because
that's floating around.
you just had Hate drop like 2 days ago, right?
Oh yeah, that's also another record. That's the one I left out. That's another record that I produced. That's on the Bars and Beats project that's coming soon.
So that's crazy because I got MJ forwarded me a few of the new songs. So Selfish, It's a Rap, Navigation, and Berry Time. I like all the songs, but actually, so you produced all those though. Those are all off the upcoming album.
Yes, sir.
Holy shit, man, that's crazy. Like so because I was gonna say this about the songs themselves, but one thing I liked about them is you're sharp Cassidy on every single song. That's one thing I like about you. Like no matter what song you do, you're still sharp Cassidy when you rap. Like you don't let the lyrics slack to get a subject matter across. But all these songs, you're sharp Cassidy on them, but they're also versatile. Like no one song sounded the same. Like the one hook, you were kind of like almost kind of singing on a little bit. All the songs are just so versatile, but they all still fit in that realm of Cassidy too. Like that's one thing I thought was really dope. But the fact you produced them all too is just crazy.
Thank you, man. And I'm happy you was able to see that because that's what I was trying to bring across with this project, man. And with my production, like a lot of producers got a good sound, like beats that you really like, but if you listen to the catalog of their music, most of the beats sound similar.
Yeah.
The drums and snares that they use is similar. The way the hi-hats bounce or the beat per minute that they use is similar. But with me, you can't even tell that I produced the track because every track that I do sounds completely different. Completely different beat per minute. It's bouncing different. It's a different subject matter. It just is a different zone, and I feel like that's what hip-hop really is. That's what we need to get back to.
Yeah.
Because that's when you get the best music.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I had no idea that you even like could produce like that, but let alone like for you to have produced all those tracks. And I only heard just those few, early releases that I got sent to me. But like that, I would have assumed a different producer did damn near every beat. So that's crazy that you produced all that as well too. And great job on the beats too. They're dope.
Man. And I just started working back. I actually earlier this year I posted on social media. My wife actually bought me some new production equipment. Swizz actually bought me my first MPC. He bought me the 2500 years and years ago.
Oh yeah.
And and I started. I actually produced a record on my on the Bars album. It's called All by Myself.
Okay.
And I don't have no one but me, myself, and I. This was a sample though. And in the beginning, I said, I'm about to produce this track myself. This nigga Swizz just flew out. This nigga Neo is asleep, so I'm gonna produce it myself. And you hear me actually make the beat in the beginning, and then I rap to it. That was the first track I ever produced.
Oh shit!
But that was like a sample, and then I did more tracks like on some of the mixtapes that you named.
Yep.
I did some tracks on them, and I produced more music after that. But I wasn't really serious. I would probably make a beat every couple of months or whenever I just felt like it. I never really took it serious a lot then fully to making beats because I was so focused on rap.
Yeah.
But recently, earlier this year, just in the bag I was in, the space I was in, and just the position that I was in, I just felt like I needed to get back on my production. So I started to lock in and make beats. And I wasn't even trying to become the next biggest producer. I just love music. But I was getting so many compliments, so many people was telling me that the beats sound good and I need to jump on them. I was hearing it from so many directions that I just decided to just start jumping on them. And when I did that, it was getting a beautiful response. And it make it feel like, regardless of the production, it makes it feel like the cast that people really want to hear because I make the beats that's customized for me to rap to. It's not like I got to search and find a lane through other producers. I know exactly what the beat means, and I know exactly how the beat feels, so I could bring the lyrics to the table and I could really be me.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I'm so happy and excited is because the feeling and the vibe that you get when you listen to the music is different than when you listen to any other type of music, and I feel that's what artists need to start focusing on, how to get that different feel from everybody else instead of trying to be the same as everybody else.
No, that's a fact, man, and that's really dope, man. That's got me super excited to hear the album now, especially like just after hearing those tracks, how well they were produced, how different they are. Like I can only, imagine what the rest of the album's got in store. So I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm curious about one thing. Off the Don't Trust Anyone 3, did you produce any of that stuff?
I'm not sure. It's so many.
Do you remember who produced Greatest Man Alive?
Over 30 songs on some of the mixtapes, and
yeah,
the time periods be so mixed up for me. I would have to. actually look over the track list and I'll let you know if I did or not.
Do you remember off top of the head who produced Greatest Man Alive, the organ beat? I always loved that beat. I always wondered who did that.
The Greatest Man Alive, you said?
Yeah.
I think that was Bishop Make It Knock. That's Mayhem Music. That's he's down with my team. He produced a lot of my tracks too, so that's in-house.
Okay.
He did that record.
Yeah, I love that mixtape, but that beat, you know, I love that funky kind of organ shit, and the way you wrote it was just crazy. But I always wondered who produced that. If you told me you produced, I was gonna be like, man.
Bishop Make It Knock. He did a lot of the tracks that I did and that I'm on too, and a lot of tracks we co-produced together, and like he been around forever. Like the record with me and Fred Money, and I just released a newer version of that with me freestyling on it again.
Yeah.
But like records like that, like Bishop Make It Not produce, it always been in house even during those times.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's well, because that's the thing, right? Like with me, you know, I'm a little slow on social media, I guess. Like I haven't actually gone back and, you know, followed all the artists I used to listen to. I'm slowly doing it over time, but I've always kind of been like the fan, you know, like I would just check up on an artist every like year or so and be like, what new have they put out, right? And then so that's how I came across the that last mixtape, Don't Trust Anyone, and I had that shit knocking for good damn near 6 months every day on my headphones, man. The Bands on Me joint and stuff, like, but
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And that's one thing I love, man, is
that's why I stay working. So whenever I know, like, I've been out for so long and got fans for so many different reasons and there's so much going on. And like I said, I don't have the machine behind me right now, so everybody might not be informed of what I got going on at the same time. But whenever you do search or whenever you do get curious and you look, there's always something new because I'm always working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's going to be plenty of music. Like the Barbarian mixtape I dropped, they got over 36 songs on it just on the one mixtape. So that's like 3 albums worth of music.
Yeah.
And it's called the mixtape, but the majority of the mixtapes we named is all original music. It's not like, you know, me just freestyling off instrumentals. I mean, it might be some of those on some of the mixtapes, but majority of the music is original music too.
And that way
so
you can.
A lot of new music out for people to get familiar with what I got going on lately.
Yeah, and then that way too, you can put everything on the DSPs and stuff, right? So it's like it's just a cleaner way of working nowadays, especially if you're producing yourself in-house production, all that stuff. It's like, why wouldn't you do that? It just makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Word, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the album Bars and Beats. Did you have a release date set for that yet?
Not yet. I just started really working on the project not too long ago, like a few weeks ago.
Oh, really?
But I've been picking up, and it's been moving so fast, and I've been banging out so quick. Like all of them records that I sent you is like all of these things been getting done in the last few weeks. So
holy shit.
The timeline might be moved up a little bit quicker because the project will be done a little faster than expected. So I don't got a date on it yet because I don't want to put it out there yet, but it's definitely coming real soon. Yeah. Real soon.
Dope, man. That's real dope. I'm looking forward to that. That's crazy that all those songs have just been done in the last few weeks. Like, you know what I mean? And just the sheer.
I know I might have already said it, not to keep saying it, but in the meantime, in between time, the Barry's Time is available on all platforms. That's the single off the Bars and Beats right now, where you can hear, you know what I mean, some of the music and get a taste of what's about to come.
And actually, Barry Time was probably, I think it was my favorite joint out of the handful that I got. And there was a couple joints on there that were more like, you know, like instrumentally classic Cassidy more so, but just Barry Time really, really like that thing just connected all the way through with me, and you fucking killed that shit.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And the one line you had, you're like, when I'm the one you get ghostwriters to buy his songs from. I was like, yo, that's slick.
Don't talk to me about how he's so nice and how his songs done when I'm the one to get the ghostwrite and buy songs from.
Yeah. And I actually want
2 decades. I had a long run, but this a marathon. And y'all niggas know how I carry mine. The rat chick and my girlfriend, but then I married mine. If it was skeletons in my closet, I would have buried mine.
Woo!
Buried time.
That shit's fire, man. I was curious with that line too, like, because you know, a lot of times the more talented lyricist dudes of each generation get asked a lot behind the scenes to do ghostwriting. Have you done ghostwriting for any artists that people might not known about?
Oh yeah, I've been ghostwriting since the beginning of my career. When I was a teenager, I started off ghostwriting for people. I've been writing for some of the biggest artists in the world, man. And, but me, I don't really unless the artist speaks on it itself or want the public to know. I really don't like to tell that I'm ghostwriting for the artist or what songs I wrote unless they give me permission to, because a lot of artists don't want to let their fans know that, you know what I mean, they got other people responsible for their material.
Yeah.
So sometimes, most of the time, we arrange it like that, and I don't speak on it. But some of the songs is some of the records that I wrote is so old, or it's like so much of a history of the artist. Don't got no problem speaking on it. So I have let people know some of the people I've ghostwritten for, but I've done it for some of the biggest artists, some of the best, some of the top artists out here. I done dealt with at periods of time, ghostwritten for. Even some of the lyricists that they categorize in the same category as me, like when you bring my name up as being a GOAT,
yeah,
they say, well, what about him, or what about him? It's like, a lot of those people that they bring up, I done wrote for those guys. That's why they fans might feel that they in the same category, but you never even hear those artists even try to compare themselves or say anything against me, because they know that I wrote for them they damn self. So it's just different. But I don't really like to put it out there and expose it and all of that.
Yeah.
Because I want to continue to help artists, continue to lock in with artists and help them to get better. And also, you know what I mean, get motivated and inspired by whatever they got going on.
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. That's hilarious though. Like some of the artists that are mentioned in the same conversation, it's like I wrote for. Like that's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Do you like just being behind the scenes, like as a person who's a fan, obviously, of hip hop growing up, the skill set and stuff, like, you know, were you kind of disappointed once you got in the game and like maybe someone you had looked up to like asked for you to like help write or whatever, and you're like, oh shit, like it loses kind of some of the like I guess like glamour that it had to you, you know what I mean? Like, you ever get disappointed like early on in your career dealing with that kind of stuff?
No, never disappointed. I got motivated and encouraged and even more confident, because I always wanted the rap to be the best. I never wanted to be, you know what I mean, I never wanted to get in the business to just build friendships and just be cool with everybody. I wanted to work with everybody to make history and to make music, because I wanted to be the best.
Yeah, I feel
So if it was somebody that you looked up to or somebody that you felt as though was super dope, and you learned their history, you realized that they had writers, or if it was a team of people that was responsible for coming up with a lot of the stuff that you like, but you was able to do that same level of stuff on your own without no team, it should just make you feel more confident in yourself, better about yourself.
Yeah.
So I never got discouraged. I never felt bad about learning the insides about how these dudes deal with it and how they come up with material. I really got motivated and more confident in myself to know that I felt like I was more that bold. That's why I be saying I'm the GOAT. And I don't just say it like how some people just throw out titles but don't really mean it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean it for real. Like, I feel like I'm the greatest because I don't feel like nobody ever ripped more bars than me. Like, you know what I mean? Consistently and follow the science. Like, I never cheat. It'll never hear me rhyming one syllable, transitioning from lines without rhyming right. Like, I never cheat on rhymes. I never cheated on the science my whole career. I always followed the science to a high extent.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm the GOAT for that reason, and because the people that the fans consider to be some of the best, most of them, you know what I'm saying, get a lot of their material from me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I tell them to say, they'll listen and say.
Yeah.
So if you consider them the GOAT and they look up to me, what do you think I consider myself? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I talk like how I talk.
Yeah.
Not some people think I'm delusional, he's crazy. Now I'm serious. It's real talk with me, and that's why you don't hear a lot of people with sense or with information disputing it. You might hear fans of social media people or people that was born in the last 10 years that don't even, how could you even know? You too young to even know what's going on. Those people be the people that comment. But the real people that's in the industry, that been around, that's been there from the beginning, you never hear them people disputing none of the stories I tell because they know it's real.
Yeah. Crazy, man. The one thing that you mentioned too, because I remembered you mentioned it in the interview with Vlad that you did a little over half a year ago, but I think you just mentioned it when you're talking about upcoming music too. You still got that project with Swizz in the works?
Actually, I did enough records for a full project to be finished. We did a lot of records when we was working at the time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened to the project. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like I told you, we got a record out called Save the Children. It's on our platforms. That's one of the records we was working on. So we did drop some music for the streets, but we never came with the full project. We both was moving in different directions and had a lot going on, so it didn't really pan out like how we thought it was.
Yeah.
But we both still working, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of things going on. The Godfather of Harlem. We just watched the season finale. That's an incredible show.
Yeah.
He played a huge part in that. So he got a lot going on, and like I told you, this whole interview, I got a lot going on too. So hopefully, maybe some of that music might be a little old. We might got to lock back in and do some newer music. But hopefully we might, you know what I mean, get some work done in the future. I'm not sure, but like I told you earlier, I stay working, so I'm always ready. Swizz my brother, so whenever he's ready to lock in, I'm just a phone call away. You can always call.
Word, man. Yeah, because that's like, like I love all the material you've been putting out, even all these new songs you're producing, but there's a certain like just chemistry you and Swizz got. Like even when you hopped on the Pistol on My Side beat, even just to remix it, you took the beat. There's still that chemistry there, like when you're rapping with on that Swizz production. So it'd be real dope to hear some of that.
Swizz developed into the producer he is with me.
Yeah.
And I developed into the rapper I am with him. Like we grew up together. The sound and the whole image that y'all know of both of us, we came up with together. You know what I'm saying? Like we was all together. So it's like it's gonna be locked in forever. Like we always gonna have a chemistry. I'm always gonna be able to ride and figure out how to deal with Swizz beats better than other artists because that's my brother. Like I don't think nobody got more Swizz production than me.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Even if we never do no more songs again for the rest of my life, it's still nobody that got more Swizz beats than me.
Yeah.
So work with him more than me, been in the studio with him more than me. So there's always gonna be a chemistry. Whenever I jump or work with Swizz, we always gonna be having a certain type of vibe because we can see eye to eye in the studio because of the history.
That's crazy now, because actually that you say that, because I never really thought of it, but you are really the only rapper Swizz ever put under his wing, eh? Like, I mean, you did like the Rough Riders production and stuff, but like you really are, like, now that I think of it, the only artist that like Swizz like ever really produced like full albums for, like under his own shit, kind of.
Yeah, having an artist like me is a gift and a curse. It's like a blessing because you get the best, you get the pocket shit while you with me. You get to feel comfortable when you ride with the best, when you get to make classical music. But after that, you know what I'm saying, if we part ways, it's going to be hard to get another artist after that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just hard to match that same type of energy, and you're going to feel that you're selling the fans short trying to get another artist to be on that level. So that might be a big reason why you never seen him work with another artist other than established artists already, just getting his production off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. And like, 'cause, you know, a lot of producers, like, you know, have their artists, few artists they bring up here and there, like, but yeah, I never really thought of it like that. But I guess Swizz, like, you and Swizz were really like you were the only dude he really like just put all the eggs in that basket, because you had pretty well, you were pretty well the overall package as an MC. So you make a good point. It's like, yeah, it'd be a little difficult to go fishing for another artist after that.
Yeah, it would be real difficult. I'm sure it was attempts. I'm sure he tried. I mean, I don't be around him 100% of the time, so I'm sure it's probably plenty of artists that he attempted to try to work with, but it probably never panned out like, you know what I mean? Like how he wanted it to.
Yeah. Word, man. And so you've been doing a lot of battles recently too.
And vice versa. Like even with me working with producers, certain producers, you know what I mean? It just is never the same chemistry as with me and Swizz. Like if I was to just work with a different producer that might be hot at the time,
yeah,
but we don't have no type of chemistry or no relationship, it won't come out the same as if I work with Swizz. And that's the reason why I'm producing myself, because nobody's gonna have a better chemistry than I have with my own self. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm in that bag, because I want to bring that feeling to the table.
Yeah, that's a fact. And the other thing is, too, when you do it all yourself, then you got no one to blame but yourself. Like, things get done accordingly to how hard you work and on your time, you know what I mean? And, like, you know, you're not recording material and then someone else, like, you know, having to wait on them or nothing. Like, everything is done as efficient as you are. So it's kind of always nice working on your own stuff, too. Because I produce my own shit, too, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's nice working kind of on that clock with yourself.
Plus, I told you, I don't do this for the success. I do it because I want to be the best. So it's nothing like the feeling of somebody, like when you tell me that you feel baritone, and I know that I didn't only just write 100% of it, the whole idea, the whole direction, the flow, the transition of the flows is all me, but not just that. I produced it from scratch, and it's no sample.
Yeah.
So it's no help, it's no direction. It don't sound like no other beat on the radio. It's my own song, and my own zone with the lyrics. Even the title is Barry Time. It's so personal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything is personal with that song. So when people like it and tell you that they like it, it's nothing like that feeling. It's a lot different than if you was just rapping on an instrumental or something like that. It's a completely different feeling when you put a whole record together on your own and the people feel it.
No, that's a fact, man. That's a fact. And actually, before we do move on, actually, too, that's another thing I wanted to ask you. But who was your biggest inspiration as a producer to make you want to start producing, or would that have been Swizz probably?
Well, yeah, I would have to say Swizz is my biggest inspiration. But there was other inspirations at different times, like Neo the Matrix. That's another producer that I've been working with since the beginning.
Yep.
He was an inspiration. Even like Vinyl, he a big producer right now, nominated for Grammys. He's working with Boy Wonder and Drake and all of them right now. But he started off with me. If you look at his catalog, all of the first beats and the first music that he ever did was with me.
Oh shit!
So I actually watched him grow. And there's a lot of producers like that that's working right now and that's big, that's down with other teams, that's doing music for other artists, but they started with me. So I watched them grow. I even gave them input. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big reason why they might even sound the way they sound. So, you know what I mean? I've been locked in and I've been inspired by different producers at different times in my life. So there's no one producer, you know what I'm saying? I take little bits and pieces from all of the producers I like.
Yeah.
Even producers that was producing before hip-hop started, I get inspired from because I like all different types of music.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's what makes a great artist, too, is you take a little bit of everything that you like.
Facts.
And so I do want to move forward, though, too, because, I mean, like, not only have you been consistently putting out music, but you've been battling a lot again lately, too. Because you did the Disaster a couple of years ago, but then, like, you did Goods earlier this year, and then you just battled Arsenal as well, too.
Yes, sir.
So, like...
That was that I did that because I started off battling, like, you know what I'm saying? I am battle rap. I'm the only like household name, like real industry artist that been promoting battle rap his whole career. You know, I've been battling myself on albums. I've just been talking about battling my whole career.
The Problem versus the Hustler is a classic.
I've been pushing for industry artists to be more competitive and battle more. Stop being so friendly. Be more competitive when they get on records. I've always been pushing that and forcing that. And battle rap is one of the places right now where artists are still trying to be competitive, still trying to use figurative language, still trying to attack the science. Even though I feel like they could be doing it more, they are trying to do those things. They're using figurative language. They're being competitive. They're trying to be the best. So that's the reason why I went back to that energy. It's not the same battle rap energy that was once around when I was battling in the beginning. It's completely different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're trying to get money off it. They're trying to get a bag from it. So whenever business get mixed up in it, the same way with the industry, it get different. The culture starts to separate from the business, and that's the same thing that's happening in battle rap as we speak.
Yeah.
But I love battle rap. I love being competitive. I love popping shit. I love that energy. So that's why I always was a part of battle rap and wanted to go back. They just didn't have enough money for me. And I felt as though I did too much and made it too much of a level for me to just be going back to battle just like a regular little battle rap. I needed a big bag.
Yeah.
So that's the reason 5 years ago I battled Disaster, because that was the first time somebody came to me with a big enough bag. It wasn't that I never wanted to battle. I wanted to battle my whole career. It's just nobody never presented the right situation until the Disaster situation. And after the Disaster situation, it was 5 years after that before they was able to come to the table with another situation that made sense. But not just for the money. I wanted to get back into battle rap for the reasons like I told you earlier. You could lose the hunger. You could lose the passion to want to just do this. So getting back into battle rap is what made me get hungry again. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel a different energy, like I'm a teenager again. And that's why you see me producing my own records, dropping. Like this year, I probably dropped more music than any artist, whether he's independent or with a machine.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no artist that drop more music this year, and I done been in 2 battles. So there's no artist in the world that's doing that. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to bring to the table to just push me and encourage me to want to just get on my job. It's motivating me, and it got me back in my bag. It got me feeling young again. It got me just excited again. So I'm happy that I did battle rap. Battle rap always meant a lot for my career, and it's still doing a lot for me right now because it's keeping me motivated, keeping me wanting to do what I'm doing to make this history and to keep making this music.
Word, man. And yeah, like that's the thing. Like, not
and
only are you
also to show people not in the industry but in battle rap the science. Because
yeah.
I think like even the battle rap fans not even sure what the science is. The way they judge who win battles is all opinionated, but they're not judging it by the science who really won. It's like a person could think that the person dressed better than the other person and feel like they won a battle, but this is battle rap. You can't judge a battle for those reasons.
Yeah.
So nobody was there to teach them the science or even how to judge a battle or even how to judge a rapper, period. So that's what I'm around for. But in order to be able to teach people, you got to be a part of it. You can't be from the outside looking in, trying to tell the battle rappers what to do when I'm not in there. So now that I'm back, I'm in there. I'm on the stage with y'all. I know what's going on. So now, you know what I'm saying, more battle rappers got their ears open and more industry niggas respect it because they know how much harder to take to do something like that and to still come back to making music on the same level. It's not normal.
No, and that's the crazy thing.
Gotta respect it.
That's the crazy thing, to be this many years in and to be able to do 2 successful battles, kill the shit, and still be dropping all this music and still be just as sharp as you were back in the day. It's just like, it's crazy, man, but it's inspirational as well.
Facts. Thank you. You know?
Yo, no doubt, man. But do you got any battles set up for the future? Like, any bags being tossed around right now? Any names or anything? Or
It's a few names being tossed around, but I don't have anything locked in yet. I didn't sign off on anything yet, so I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, speak on nothing yet. I don't really start going ham until I got something locked in. That's why you ain't really been hearing from me too much on the battle rap side. But I am the energy of battle rap. I'm the #1 viewed battle rapper in the world. You know what I'm saying? And like on the URL TV platform, I'm the #1 battle rapper. It's like the #1 views, and I only got one battle rap up so far. You know what I'm saying? And I just got the chart the other day. It's like I'm the #1 viewed battle rapper on URL TV, on their YouTube page, and on the app.
holy shit.
I'm the energy of battle rap. They got to get me back in that zone. They probably just putting together other battles. They do runs with other battles to get the bag up big enough to bring me back.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to bring me back eventually because I'm the energy and
just performing well.
For sure.
Word, man. And as a fan of battle rap too, I'm curious because you got like there's a lot of underground leagues out there, but for like big leagues, you got like your URL, you got like the Smack, and then you got like King of the Dot and stuff. Like what as a fan of battle rap yourself, like what is your favorite league to watch? Like where do you feel the most inspired from the battles from that the cards they make?
I'm not a fan of any league because all of the battle rappers jump around and go to different leagues. So you're capable of seeing one battle rapper on every league.
Yeah.
So I can't really be a fan of a league. And I'm not really a fan of any leagues per se.
Yeah.
I'm just a fan of battle rap altogether. So when people being competitive and spitting bars and going at each other, I'm just a fan of that. So sometimes it might be on the URL Smack, you might see it classic with people doing that. But it could be other leagues that you might see that same type of energy. It just depends on the rappers and the situation, you know what I'm saying? I don't really think it really be having too much to do with the league.
Yeah.
But some leagues be having bigger budgets to play with, so sometimes they be able to set up, you know what I mean, better matches with bigger battle rappers.
Yeah.
But sometimes that don't even really matter. Sometimes it's just about the night, the situation, how it go. You know what I mean? So I'm not a fan of any league per se. I'm just a fan of battle rap altogether. I am battle rap. I'm bars, so I'm a fan of all of this. I was around before all of these leagues. So for every league started, I was battling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I play a part in the reason why all these leagues is able to start. If it wasn't me running around for all of them years battling in the streets and making battle rap like popular on the street, there wouldn't have really been no demand for no leagues to start.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm responsible for you know what I'm saying, the majority of the leagues even having a platform to start a battle rap league. So I don't really want to be selective and pick one league because I'm not really tied in and I don't really own none. I'm not locked in and none.
Yeah.
I'm just a fan of battle rap altogether. And whatever league comes to me with the bag and whatever league I'm working with at the time, that's the league I'm going to push and promote and rep at the time when I'm locked in doing business with them. But outside of that, I'm just a fan of battle rap altogether.
I feel you. And when you were on Vlad recently too, well, not recently, but a little like over half a year ago, you guys were talking about the Fredro Star battle, and you were saying, you're like, yeah, if Fredro wanted to come at me, you're like, I think you might have to, get a little more practice in first. But I was curious, because you're part of a group of very few MCs who actually cross back over from being an industry artist to going back into battle rap. But I'm just curious, like, between you and the other artists who have, like, Keith Murray, Joe Budden, Canibus, are there any of them that you'd really be threatened of if a card got set up against them? Or do you think they, are you confident you could take any of them out?
But with battle rap, I never had any picks. Like, anybody that I ever battled, I never picked them. So if somebody came to the table with the right bag and wanted me to battle, they could pick whoever they wanted to pick. Any of them dudes you name or anybody. Like, I don't really care. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're not backing down from any battle.
Anybody could get this smoke. Yeah, anybody could get this smoke. It don't matter who it is. But I don't got no problems with the with rappers if we don't got no battle locked in. If we don't got nothing locked in, then you know what I'm saying, it's all love. I want to see them keep doing their thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But if we got a battle locked in and we're about to battle, then anybody can get this smoke. It don't matter what name it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? What time period, how old they is, how big they is, how small they is, what coast they from. They could be up there from Canada where you at. It don't matter. It's like, you could be from anywhere, any place, any age, you could get it. So that's the tip I'm on.
Word, that's the attitude you gotta have, man. And just before we
not just on the stage, period. Like, I do this for real. Like, I'm not just one of them type of battle rappers. Like, I do that, but I rap, period. So it don't gotta be on stage. It could be however a person want to decide to get it, they could get it. You know what I'm saying?
Would you do like the same type of battle? Like, you know, let's say someone was to like set up like you versus Canibus or something, right? But it wasn't going to be filmed or recorded or anything, but they still put up the same bag. Would you be into doing something like that?
I'm with whatever, man. Whatever makes sense, I'm with it, man.
Word.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I love this battle rap shit like I told you earlier. I love the business and I love rapping, period. And I want to do this to be the best. So whenever they present something like that, I'm with it.
Word.
I'm a big Canibus fan, man. I fuck with Canibus. We actually talked on the phone before. You know what I mean? He a cool dude. And he one of the dudes that I used to listen to even before I got the record deal. When I was one of the first concerts that I went to, and I went backstage, it was Canibus, Wreckords, Busta Rhymes, this before I had a record deal, before Wreckords and all of that.
Oh, shit,
I was rhyming for them backstage. And the reason why I went up to Canibus and asked him, can I spit for him? Because people was comparing us, like saying we had a similar style. Because when I was like 14 and 15 on a radio battle rapping, I wasn't really talking as much street stuff as I'm talking now. It was more like closer to a Canibus type of style, like with the vocabulary and how aggressive I was, just how I was doing it. The only like similarity people could come up with was Canibus. But my style wasn't nothing like his, but I could understand why the uninformed would think it was similar. So when I seen him, I was like, yo, people keep saying I sound like you. My name is 4B. I want you to hear something. He was like, all right, go ahead. And then that's when I started rhyming for Canibus, Wreckords, Busta, and a few other people came up. There was a lot of people there backstage. But this one, I was like probably like 15 years old, back there getting busy. But I always respect the Canibus and fuck with Canibus music and like Canibus as an artist, man. I thought that he was a big reason why people was able to take the science to a certain level, like, you know what I mean, with what he was doing.
Yeah. I think nowadays he doesn't get the props he deserves.
You can't judge Canibus' whole career and who he is as a rapper by the battle that he was in, regardless of the fact. You know what I mean? He probably wasn't locked in. That wasn't the best of Canibus. Like, he wasn't even in his best zone at the time. So, you can't really judge him from that. You know what I mean? I'm judging him from what he brought to the table his whole time he was around, and I'm a big Canibus fan. But with that being said, it don't matter if I was a Canibus fan or not. Canibus could still get it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Joe Buttons, we had a relationship. Like, you could pull up old videos with Joe Buttons in my video, and we chilling together, and we cool, but Joe Buttons could get it for the right bag. It's like, it's just it's a sport. It's like, you know what I'm saying? LeBron not going to say, I don't want to play against my friend and that's on another team in the championship just because he's my friend. It's like, it don't matter. Like, he might be cool, but when it comes down to this championship game, he going to get the business. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to dunk all on him and all that. You know what I'm saying? So That's how I feel.
Word, man. And actually, one thing too, like with you saying what you said about Canibus, I don't think he gets the props he deserves nowadays. And I don't know if it's partly that battle that, like, maybe to a younger generation, partly tarnished his image or something. I don't know what it is, but like when I was coming up, like he was one of the god MCs, like from the generation before you guys. You know what I mean? Like when we went back and did our research, he was one of those dudes from like the '90s. Him, Big L, Pun, like dudes who were just had the science down to a whole nother level, you know, AZ, stuff like that. And so, you know, I think he gets slept on a lot when people talk about, you know, contributors to what's made hip-hop lyricism what it is today. I think a lot of people overlook Canibus nowadays, and I think he deserves more props.
Nah, I mean, I guess it depends on who what type of people you're talking about. Because, like I said, there's a newer, younger crowd that wasn't around when he was getting busy. He wasn't around when the streets was dropping and he was shaking up the world.
Yeah.
So they don't know what that feeling is like. So it's hard to, like, try to, you know, let them try to get an idea what the feeling was like. It's hard to do that. You had to be around.
Yeah.
But it's the people that was around when Canibus was going crazy is still around. It's like these people ain't dead. They still alive. They still living. They still know what that feeling is like. But those might not be the people that's commenting on all of the social media platforms or all these sites. So you might think that the majority of the people still don't respect Canibus the same, but that's just a limited amount of people. All of the people that respected him back then still respect him now.
Yeah.
I just was watching an interview with LL the other day, and he said his biggest, most competitive battle was with Canibus. Like, you know what I'm saying? So LL is a GOAT.
Yeah.
And he said his biggest battle, like, you know what I'm saying, his hardest battle was with Canibus. So, you know, people still know what Canibus energy is like. People still respect him and know what he brought to the table, especially the informed people. And that's why it's up to the informed people that's informed with hip hop to give off the information to the up and comers that might not know. You know what I mean? They only going by what's on YouTube or what's on like these sites that they look at. They don't really fully understand the history.
Yeah.
That's why they gotta have somebody to tell it to them that was around, like me.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, you said it perfectly. You're right. There is a certain demographic that definitely, like, they know, respect them. I just think, I more maybe people my age. Like, I'm 30 right now, right? But like, I think, like, yeah, like, you know, I feel like there's certain artists that don't get the props they deserve. Carrying over to my generation and some of the younger generations, I just feel like Canibus deserves more respect on his name sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
speaking of battling and stuff.
Malone, we gotta keep it moving, Malone.
Yeah. All right. We'll wrap it up. I was just curious while we're talking about battling though. Did you get a chance to hear the shit going on between Eminem and Nick Cannon at the moment?
Yeah. I didn't really hear everything, but I'm kind of familiar with them going back and forth and Nick Cannon dropping a song and all of this stuff. Yeah, I'm familiar with what's going on.
Did you get a chance to check the Nick Cannon joint out? He had like Hollow on it and shit.
I actually didn't hear the whole record, but on the gram, I was on Instagram and I seen the post of it, so it wasn't a whole song, but it was just the Cannon part.
You just seen the clip then.
I wasn't really feeling it that much to be able to pull up the whole song. I mean, I'm gonna eventually check it out. But,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I wasn't from the part that I heard. I guess I heard a minute of it and the Nick Cannon part.
Yeah.
And I was a little disappointed, especially with all of these battle rappers and so-called lyricists that he had standing right next to him. When you coming at somebody like Eminem, you should have came with something way, way crazier than that.
Yeah.
Especially with all of these dudes in the video with you that's supposed to be lyricists. They right next to you. They could have gave you some type of bar that you could have said to make some type of impression. But I don't feel like he really did enough to go at him, you know what I mean? Me personally, but that's just I told you, I only heard it on the gram. I got to listen again.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be better. I don't want everybody to run with that, you know what I'm saying? It might be a good record. I got to hear it again, but my first listen, I don't think it was enough.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I felt a dude like Eminem.
I felt the same way too. That's why I was just curious from someone who has been a fan of battle rap for years, kind of what your opinion was on it. I know a ton of songs have dropped in between since. Like he's dropped a second one now, and now Obi Trice. But
I like this energy. I like people being competitive.
Yeah, same.
And I'm happy that people is going at other people and bringing this energy to the table. That's all well and good.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna go at somebody that holds a certain amount of weight, you're gonna have to really go at them. Like, you can't play around, go at people. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't play with this and like fake go at people. Like, you gotta really go at somebody who's gonna go at them.
Yeah.
And I don't really think that wasn't really like a headshot. That was like a little pluck on the hand.
Yeah.
And I don't really like those.
No, I feel you, man. I feel the same way. I know he just dropped another one, so I'm actually, after this interview, going to check it out and see where it's going from there. Obi Trice dropped something, but I know you got to get going, my man, so I just want to thank you for your time. Let the people know one more time, the new singles you got out.
All of the new music, the new project numbers, it's Barry Time. The new singles is on all of the new platforms. Bars and Beats is coming real soon. And actually, I'm about to do Wild and Out too in a couple of days, so I'm gonna talk to Nick Cannon about it in person, and I'm gonna have a better understanding real soon.
Ah, yeah, maybe you could put the fire under him to get him to really, really, really get in his bag for that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk.
Word up, my man. Well, thank you very much for your time, Cassidy. You're a legend, man. I'm just glad to see you continuing to put out the material you are, and when you got the next album ready to go and stuff, I'd love to get you on the show again if you got the time.